So I got a call today to remove some bees from the property of a Mississippi billionaire. His people called my people. We set it up. I'm headed over there now. You know, when you got that kind of money, when you can afford the best, you hire the best. I even put on a clean shirt for the job. Let's go see what we got. Well, welcome back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life. And where today we've got a very interesting job to do. We've got to run bees out of an old live oak tree. Bees look like they've been there for a while. They only started noticing them a few months ago, and there's a walking track that you can see behind me. It doesn't appear to be really used much, but I guess the bees are posing a problem. Probably more for the grounds crew than anybody else, but they have to go, so we're gonna run them out today. I'll show you what I've got set up around me. I kind of look like a homeless guy camping out here in the middle of this palatial estate. So I've got the smoker, it's going already. Everything bee-vac, battery powered, lighter for the smoker, fuel for the smoker. This is Fisher's Bee Quick. These are some dryer duct cleaning rods that I just linked together. Sometimes you can't really see, and this one you can see that this is kind of the top of the void. The void goes down. Most of the time the base of a tree is going to be hollow if there's anything, but sometimes in these upper limbs the limbs can go hollow, like up there. I don't know if it's going to show because of the sun, but there's damage to a limb, and so you don't always know which way the void runs. So I just carried this out here just in case. The blower is for mostly for pumping smoke into the hive, but if you're trying to get a smoker lit or trying to produce a lot of smoke, a small blower is the way to go. This is on the lowest setting. It says three speed settings. And of course I've got my veil, spare battery, fiber, and a nice color match caulk to seal this up when we're done, because if we run bees out and leave it, we're still in swarm season, it is almost guaranteed to catch another one before the season is out. So that is our plan for today. Probably be here for quite a while today. These can be some long jobs. It really all depends on where the bees are housed up in it and how established they are. These have been here for a long time. They started noticing them 3 months ago, which was in winter, so that means they were in here last year. Also, didn't mention I've got a piece of PEX pipe which is flexible, and I can run it down past the brood to use to pump smoke through, and pump smoke and repellent, Bee Quick, in the smoker all the way to the bottom of the void, and start pushing bees out and collect them with the vac as they come out of this beautiful bent tree. Something you'll want to look out for on trees like this as you're doing forced absconds or trap outs is other voids. This is something I learned the hard way a lot of years ago. So that tree over there's got a big hole up in the top of it. If they got bees up there, they probably would not even notice it. But if you trap out of something like this, sometimes they'll leave and go higher up in the same tree. Ask me how I know. So that's what we're doing today. I'm just getting started. I've had these last as little as an hour or as long as 5-6 hours. Just trying not to do damage to the tree, trying to get the bees out healthily, safely, and rehome them. One quick additional step I'll take on this, just to show, not prove a point, but just show what you can do with a FLIR, what you can't do with a FLIR. Someone asked me recently, could you locate bees in a tree with a FLIR? And I said no, because the wood is too thick, which is the case. I'm going to show you right now. So I've got a VVOR infrared. I've got the FLIR in the truck, but the VVOR is a little more sensitive, which is why I'm using it. So you can see around the bottom of the tree, there's really nothing. You can see the heat coming from the entry, and you can see up the tree where the sun is touching. But down in the base, where the bees are hanging out on the outside of the tree, is cold. So on most trees, I won't say all, but any I've ever seen, you cannot locate bees with a FLIR or with an infrared. Okay, going upward, that's the end of the void going up. That is about 36 inches in there. I'm in honey and wax. I'm getting about the same distance going down. You kind of got to twist and work it in these trees because you're hitting a lot of knots and bumps and tight spots. You might not be all the way to the back of a void when you think you are. And I want to get the repellent out. So I'm running Bee Quick in there. It's a repellent. I want to run that past the bees to drive them out. I don't want to put repellent right here on the entry and just drive them into the tree, them not want to pass it. So the whole goal is to get smoke and repellent behind them to push them out. If I were anywhere else but here, I would probably take an auger bit. I doubt these people want me drilling on their tree, so I'm not going to. I don't want to spend too much time on this showing you all my tricks, but as you're running a piece of PEX or whatever you're running down in a tree, it's gonna clog with wax. And to prevent that, I have this little dryer cleaner tube or rod all the way down through it to the point where I'm using the rod to guide the entry and then slide the PEX in and pull the rod out. And so that keeps the end of the PEX from getting clogged. Because if it's clogged, you can't push smoke through it. Interesting little turn here. Pushing smoke in the void. Bees are coming out, but also there's a void down this entire branch. Proving my point for me, this tree. You trap out in one spot and they'll find another way out. So we're gonna, not at the moment, but before we're done, we'll close that hole up. Well, craziest thing just happened. Me and the property manager were out here talking, and I had a whole bunch of bees outside the tree and a swarm flew over, and I went to check where they went. Another swarm off another tree back over that way somewhere, and I just followed them to make sure they weren't gonna land in the tree on the property, and I had to get them too. But while I was gone, about half of these went back inside. So I lost a little ground there, but I'll make it up fairly quickly. As many drones as I'm picking up, this one may have swarmed already as well. Enough to make me think that they're hanging around to try to get a mating. More holes. I started pumping smoke with the blower. I saw smoke coming out up here. This is gonna be a fun one. I gotta seal all these gaps. Goodness, I don't know if I can. They go way up. Well, at least I know where I can collect bees from. Let's see if there's anything going on over here. No, just smoke. It's funny that we saw that swarm going over. I heard them. Turned around and look, and they were right up in this area. Moved over, and I thought they were going to go down to this lower branch because that's about where they got, and then they went straight out. What do you call it, hose when you're in a hospital and they stick a hose in your stomach? That's what's going on here. Well, I have to say I was successful in running them up, just not the up I expected. I thought this was the top of the cavity. Not by far, my friends. It goes 10 feet up in both directions. We're gonna be here a little while. Probably the most success I'm having, and I did run Bee Quick down in that tube down to the bottom of the void, so definitely not clustering in the void, but just smoking them with the blower. I stick the blower. Let's see if I can do this one-handed, so basically what I'm doing is sticking the blower up to the hole, smoking them that way, just because I wasn't able to get enough smoke. I thought I was gonna be here all day smoking them out of this little hole, but they're coming out everywhere else. I'm just gonna keep giving the smoke to them. they'll pile up somewhere. I just hope they don't end up where I can't reach them. Still watching for queens, but I suspect, like I said, this is swarmed already. Probably, if anything comes out, it's probably gonna be some unmated queens or a unmated queen, who knows. If I see something, I'll let you know. Lots and lots of drones up top. Gotta be careful backing them off of textured surfaces like this. They're pretty tough, but it's easy to crush them when you're on uneven surfaces. If it was smooth wood or something, you could just rake the vac nozzle right across them. They just pop right in the hose, but something like this, it's a little harder. I'm taking it out. I'm having more luck with the blower. All right, I was in a rush to get done and get out of there, but when I get my queens out, I know I've done the job. So that hive had swarmed already, and I knew it. I was looking for virgins. I ended up with 3 virgin queens, and a nice bee vac full of bees. I've got the vac riding in here with me because it keeps them cool. So I'll drop those queens in there.
People who inspire you the most, guess what? They don't have all the answers.
So I caught 3 virgin queens. I was up a ladder. I dropped one and I could not find her for nothing. It was they didn't cut the grass around that tree because they didn't want to get a commercial mower over it that close to a hive after they noticed it was there. But there was leaves and high grass, a lot of leaves and high grass, and I just couldn't pick her out. So I ended up with 2 queens that I just introduced to the bucket of their sisters and headed home to put them all in a nuke box. They'll go in a 5-frame nuke with some heavily waxed foundations, and they'll get a good start on life that way. Job well done, completed, paid, out. Wonderful day. Oh, I forgot to mention that job took 3.5 hours of smoking and resting and smoking and resting, vacuuming bees and resting, vacuuming bees, and not me resting, letting the bees rest. So a lot of times on cutouts, when you're removing hives from a structure, if you don't get the queen pretty early on, she runs and hides, and she's one of the last ones you find, if you find her. And this was no different. So those 3 queens, I caught 3 virgin queens coming out up high on that limb at the very end. I mean, there was a few stragglers left, and those 3 popped out, and I caught all 3 but dropped 1. So now I'm down to 2. Couldn't find that other one. But that's how I knew the job was pretty well done, is when the queens came out. And I sealed the tree up, got the bees in the back, plenty of bees in that bucket to get a good hive started, and 2 caged virgins in there that I can either put them both in that hive and let them figure it out, or I can separate them and make a split off of another hive, which is probably what's going to happen. I'll make another split off of something. That's the job done. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I should have got some more footage of that house because they said I could. I just got sidetracked.